Look, no matter what anybody says to you, if you're new to the agency world and you want to start with $0, you can absolutely do so. I did for mine, and I ended up landing my first client for completely free. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how you can start your SMMA today with $0, and also if you want to throw some money in there, I'll give you some recommendations to what I use currently and how you can begin using that as well. Stick around, it's going to be a good one. All I ask is that you hit the subscribe and like button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me keep doing these videos, and I really appreciate all the support lately. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'll start with how you can start your agency today with $0, because if you clicked on the thumbnail, that's likely what you're here for. The first method is really just creating an Instagram account. Look, I want to start with this because every good thing just has to start with one actionable step. If you create an email domain, if you create an Instagram page, if you create a name, like anything, even if you just jot a good name down on paper for what your agency could be, that is taking action, and it's going to motivate you to go to the next step. Picking a name could be anything like, my initials are WNR. It could be WNR Media, WNR, digital marketing, anything like that. But I would recommend creating a simple logo, a simple name, and creating an Instagram page to really just get the ball rolling. This really shouldn't even take you an hour to create all of that within Canva, and it's really not hard to actually just sit down, create a username, do all this, and be ready to outreach within an hour. A lot of people watch these videos and they'll never actually take a step. Today's the day to take a step. So now that you have an Instagram page, what do you do? Well, really, I've had a ton of videos on my channel talking about how you can do Instagram DM outreach, LinkedIn DM outreach. Feel free to check out any of those videos, but really there's multiple ways you can do it on Instagram. One of them is if you're interested in e-commerce, going to the shop tab, the little shopping bag icon, and searching up different products and niches that you can start reaching out to. The other way is putting in a hashtag for local businesses. For example, I live in Atlanta, so I would type in hashtag ATL business, Atlanta restaurant, Atlanta retail, something along those lines, and you'll find thousands and thousands of people, and hundreds of people post that stuff per day. So there's really not going to be any shortage of people that you can reach out to. Realistically, you could have a name, a logo, and an Instagram page and start outreaching within like 2 hours. And so if you haven't begun that, if you're really just looking for a sign to get started that you think is going to cost a lot of money, this costs $0, and you can start outreaching today as long as you have a good offer and you're not sending like hundreds and hundreds of DMs per day. You can spread it out through multiple Instagram accounts, because if Instagram sees that you're a new account and you're sending like hundreds of DMs, they're just going to flag it for spam, and you're going to go to the hidden request tab. I would recommend sticking around the 30 to 50 mark. That's where the sweet spot is for me. Other people may say differently, but that's just what I found is a good sweet spot. So that's one way you can start an SMMA with $0. The second way is start manually cold outreaching. So this one is a little more labor intensive, because a lot of people, including me, that I'll talk about later, is just automating the cold email. But if you just want to start, hit the ground running and just send like anywhere from 20 to 30 emails per day, because emails take a lot longer to curate and send out than DMs, then you can absolutely start doing so. There are websites like myip.ms that will look up Shopify websites for you. You can use hunter.io to find their personal emails. And then you could also just go to the Google homepage, type in whatever niche, and go to like the 7th or 8th page, start going through those websites, find an email. And really, that's the only thing you need to get started. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have a good offer, people are going to answer you, and they will be interested if you have an offer that's promising them results, or they get a refund if the results aren't driven, stuff like that, and so on and so forth. So we've got Instagram DMs, cold emailing, and if you're really, kind of wanting to take over the local aspect of wherever you live, cold calling is really, really good. Now, I know that a lot of people in the SMMA space despise cold calling, and a lot of people in general despise cold calling, but the truth is, like I said, if your offer is good, people will take it up on you, and it's a lot harder to reject somebody if you're talking to them, like on the phone, as it is, than an email, because if I'm looking at an email, I don't even have to respond. If you're talking to somebody on the phone, they at least have to respond to you, or they'll just hang up. When it's quick and easy, you know that lead is either there or not. And the call to action within a cold calling script is really just booking a meeting. You don't want to sell them on anything like right out the bat, because what I like to advocate for is that you want to establish a relationship with these people, because at the end of the day, if you're working with them on a daily basis, you want them to be genuine people, and you want them to trust you, and you want to like enjoy talking to them. I have some clients that I honestly regret signing because I go to the meeting and I'm like, I have to talk to, X. So anyway, that's besides the point. But present a really good offer in cold calling, whether it's a restaurant, shop, a trainer, anything like that could really go very far. And if you're taking over a specific area that's not saturated with SMMA or whatever your service you're offering is, I would recommend doing like lead generation, not necessarily social media management. Then I think there's a lot of success that can be had with cold calling. And I know that a lot of people on YouTube have had a lot of success with cold calling. This is something that also you can't really get flagged for spam. Like nobody can like flag your number for spam. So you can call hundreds and hundreds of people a day if you're really dedicated to it. And as you keep going, the experience will stack up and you'll just start to recognize like what scripts work better than others and how you can actually start presenting yourself. It may start out really awkward, you may start out really nervous, but if you're calling hundreds of people a day, the fact of the matter is that even by the end of the week, you'll be fine with cold calling and you'll just be more comfortable and more willing to accept rejection. I think a lot of people are scared for people to say like, no, I don't want this service. Don't be afraid for rejection. If you're going into the agency space and you're afraid of like being told no, it's not the right space for you. The last free method is signing up for Upwork. Now, I'm not really sure specifically how many connects you get for signing up for free. I think it's anywhere from 50 to 100, like 60 to 70. But that 60 to 70 can go a very long way. If you start with cold email and you notice that people are responding specifically to a certain script than a different one or a certain offer than a different one, then go to Upwork where there's already warm leads and present that same offer. And I guarantee you'll have, people responding within hours. Upwork also gives you a certain amount of connects per month without you having to spend any amount of money for those connects. And connects, if you're not familiar with the Upwork platform, is pretty much the currency, or like whenever you propose a job to somebody that's looking for work, you have to send connects their way. So if I only have 60 and a job takes 5 connects, then I only get I can't do math, but you know what I'm saying. The good thing about this is that you can do every single one of these today. You really don't need to set up anything on the back end for you to start DMing, start cold calling, start cold emailing, creating an Upwork account. You could do like 10 of these, each of these by the end of the day today, and nothing's stopping you at all, unless you have like a job, family. I understand that. But if you're really dedicated to growing and starting an agency, then you could do each of these today, and you could do each of them every single day. If you're doing each of these methods every single day with a good offer and you're sending volume, like it's just, you're bound for success. I don't know what else to tell you. Now, if you do have a little bit of a budget that you wanted to put towards, your outreach methods, I'm going to talk about some ways that I use money on a monthly basis to put towards, getting new clients and keeping those clients. So I'm going to stick with Upwork because Upwork really is a home base for warm leads. And if you're not taking advantage of it, especially when starting an agency, then you're missing out. Because I understand once you get to, 20, 30, 40K and you're just automating new clients through cold email, like that's a level that every agency owner wants to get to. But if you're just starting and people are looking for work, there's no better place to start than Upwork. So I recommend just putting in $20. I think it gets you anywhere from 80 to 100 connects. If you put in $20 per week, or maybe you're doing this bi-daily and you have a certain set of money set apart to actually do the outreach, then I would put a lot of it towards Upwork because people are posting hundreds, if not thousands of posts per day in the US. I know that there's tens of thousands across the world. They're looking for your services. And if you're doing like 10 to 15 proposals every single day, you are just going to get responses if your offer's good. Like there's no other way around it. If your offer is great, like you'll just find that everything is just going to come so easily. If you're offering social media management in a saturated niche, you're just never going to get a client. But if you're offering a non-saturated service with a good offer in a non-saturated niche, like, dude, you made it. So Upwork is an amazing place to start. I still have clients today that I got with Upwork back when I started my agency that have introduced me to other clients just through referrals and word of mouth. So it really goes a long way, and I'm sure that my $20 ROI has massively outperformed itself. So the second way that I would put money towards outreach is actually doing cold email automation. I know I touched on it earlier, but you can use softwares like Instantly AI, Apollo, and it really just ranges from $200 to $300 to really get that service, which is, I think Instantly is like $99 a month. Apollo is like $97 a month. I could be wrong on like a few dollars, but that's generally what it is. And then the actual Google domains in Google Workspace, which is $12 per email. So if you pay, let's say $8 to $10 on Namecheap for a domain, you can create 2 to 3 emails that can each send 40 emails per day. That's 120 emails a day. So now that you have those emails and you're warming them up in Instantly AI, you can put a script in Instantly AI and send the emails to the leads that you find on Apollo. So Apollo is what I use to find the leads, and I've got a campaign running right now that's got like a couple thousand leads that I'm trying out right now. But pretty much you know, I've got a good offer, I've got a good script in there, and I'm having it work for me while I'm filming this video, and I'm not having to do any kind of manual outreach. Like I said earlier, email is really the most effective, I think, if you're just having a good offer and you're sending volume. Like I said earlier, email is probably the most effective in terms of volume and what you can get for your money. I think that it's insanely worth it if you have a good script and you're sending that volume every single day. People are sending thousands of emails per day automated. Right now I'm sending just under 300, and I'm trying to get that, you know, up and up and up as the months go on. But there's people in my Discord that, you know, link down below if you haven't joined yet, that are sending thousands of emails cold automated, and it's just insane the kind of results that people get. So estimated anywhere from 200 to 300 per month. You could just put $300 into 1 month, and if you don't get anything, like, I totally get it, but it is really worth it if everything, like I touched on earlier, is in place and you're not, you know, reaching out to an already saturated niche with a saturated offer and service. So anyway, that's the second method. The third and last method, if you wanted to put money towards outreach, hiring a VA to do cold calling. I saw somebody do this on YouTube a few months back, and I've been interested in it ever since. I haven't actually hired a VA myself. I have people on my team that help me out, but hiring a VA for, you know, outreach specifically is nothing that I have explored, but I know that it's insanely effective if you hire a team of like 2 to 3 VAs that charge anywhere from like 7 to 15 an hour. Like, you can find these people overseas in the Philippines. Just make sure they're not, like, you know, scammy. They have good English and they can present themselves well. But if you do that, then you can have 2 to 3 people calling hundreds of people a day. I mean, I would probably venture to say you can get 30 to 40 calls in an hour, and if you spread that out between 3 people, like, that's hundreds of calls that they're making a day. And if you know, have that script that they're each presenting to local businesses in your area, or it's like, you know, just different companies in a certain industry or niche, then that could be very, very valuable. I actually am really looking forward to exploring that in the future. But hiring a VA also is like, you have to manage these people. They are on your payroll. It is a little bit stressful, whereas the cold automated outreach is just a software that you're paying for. So these are people that you're paying for, and if you haven't had an experience in that in the past, that can be a little bit of a challenge if you're not familiar with how to manage those people within the company. So like I said, you can find those people for cheap. I would say anywhere from 7 to 15 an hour. I wouldn't go above 15 an hour. I just don't think it's really that worth it for cold calling, but maybe you can find somebody cheaper. Like I said, I've seen somebody on YouTube do this recently, and it's worked really well for them, so I'm confident it can work for you too. But if you did get to this point in the video and you watched all the way through, I really, really appreciate it. Good luck with your SMMA this year. I don't think that it's too saturated to the point where you can't get any clients, but then again, more and more people are signing up every single day. So if there's any time to start an agency, now is the time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.